Hello, my name is Sieara McLeod. Today on Health and Wellness, we are speaking to Elaine Grobman, CEO of the Susan G. Komen Foundation in Philadelphia. Since 1982, the Komen Foundation has been committed to raising awareness for breast cancer, providing patient support, and encouraging women to take control of their health with regular screenings. Their signature Race for the Cure event is currently the world's largest fundraising event for breast cancer research. Welcome, Mrs. Grobman, and my first question is, please give us a brief history of the Komen Foundation and tell us why it has become synonymous with breast cancer research and patient support.
The Komen Foundation was formed in Dallas, Texas originally, a promise between two sisters, Nancy Brinker and her sister Susan, who died of breast cancer at 36. Nancy made a promise that she would change the way breast cancer was thought of. Really, she thought maybe in the community. She never knew it would be worldwide. And from that, in 1991, a group from Philadelphia went to Texas and found out about the Race for the Cure, their fundraising opportunity that would be available. And the race was brought back here to Philadelphia, and the first Race for the Cure took place in 1991, and 1,983 people came.
Wow.
Now remember, races weren't big. Breast cancer was, you didn't talk about it.
Right.
So that was really quite an accomplishment. And because of companies like CBS and Wawa and Bancor.com, who came on board and validated the cause, it was an amazing success to move forward. And from that opportunity, the race has grown in attendance to over 125,000 people each Mother's Day. And the mission of Komen is to end breast cancer forever. And how do we do that? We have to raise funds so that we can provide early detection, mammograms, education, treatment, and survivorship for women in our 15 counties. And we have been doing that for over 26 years.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm very encouraged already. All right, my second question is, what is the role of the Susan G. Komen Foundation in providing support to patients with breast cancer? And you have already touched some base on that. If you could give us a little further insight.
You know what's different about Komen is we do it all. We raise the funds, we provide the education, we provide the mammograms, the opportunity for support groups. So Komen does it all.
What kind of specific services does the foundation provide?
Well, to repeat, I guess, you're going to get a free if you need us, you're without insurance, you're out of work, you don't fit into the criteria, you could be entitled to a free mammogram at one of our 15 hospitals.
And I know you were talking to me earlier about a recent event that just happened with the Philly Pops. Could you talk about that?
Well, it came to our attention that after attending the Philly Pops, which is an amazing orchestra, that the audience was not diversified. And then I began to think about our diversity in the community. And if I was able to bring this education and music together, that it would be a new way to incorporate the message of education and the continuity of taking it forward. So we invited 25 doctors and 25 survivors to be on the stage of the Kimmel Center. You thought it was the orchestra, but it wasn't. And the program was each doctor had to tell a fact about breast cancer.
Right.
And each survivor told their story, their personal story. When they left the stage, then the Philly Pops came up, and all the music was geared toward African, Latina, Asian, Caucasian music to engage the audience with education in between the music.
I think that's great, like how you were, that event was able to like really connect cultures together. And I remember reading in the pamphlet that you gave me, you said they became a family more than just a group of people coming together for one cause. So
for years, we did separate education events for Latina, Asian, African American for about 15 years. And after having the experience with the Philly Pops and having a brain, shot that we needed to do something else. Now we're hoping this is just the beginning of communities coming together.
The Race for the Cure
Right.
event. Could you give us a little insight on that?
Well, it probably takes 1,000 volunteers to put together Mother's Day, but all during the year, it takes hundreds of volunteers to prepare for Mother's Day, whether raising funds, putting out posters and race forms, and having educational seminars to talk about the race and make sure people are coming and they're interested and they're raising funds to support our mission, and fabulous entertainment and a kids run and a survivors breakfast that ShopRite underwrites, and Wawa provides food for everyone that attends. So it's a festival.
Yes. Nevertheless, that's the best way to describe it, because it seems like everyone is involved.
Right.
All the different, communities and different companies and ethnic groups and everything like that.
What we would like is that everyone would register for the Race for the Cure,
Absolutely.
because those dollars we need for mission.
Right. Right. And you need as much money as possible. I understand.
Absolutely.
How does the foundation work with the hospitals and research facilities? Like the, just give me a little breakdown.
We give 25% of what we raise to our national organization, and they decide where research will go. As an example, Fox Chase, Jefferson, Penn.
The prognosis for breast cancer patient is much brighter than it once was. How do you feel the efforts and outreach of the Susan G. Komen Foundation has contributed to better outcomes for breast cancer patients throughout the country?
That's easy. Early detection saves lives.
Yes.
Early detection means a mammogram. So you can look to Komen and say, we have funded 165,000 free mammograms.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So the earlier you find the problem, the better chance you have of survival.
Right.
And research, is really largely funded. We are the second largest funder of breast cancer research in the country. The only one above us is the government.
That's big.
Yeah.
That is mega.
So I take pride in saying we're saving lives every day.
Every day, yes. All right, so my last question is, what have been some of the highlights of your role as the CEO and executive director over the last 15 years?
I meet fabulous survivors, wonderful women that want to live and want to continue their lives and are willing to do whatever it takes, but they never forget that Komen needs help too. But I have to tell you the story. We had an event on Friday night, and a woman in her 80s who had had a stroke spoke at our event. She was a Holocaust survivor. She had a stroke, she had breast cancer, and she walked in our race last year with the help of a cane and walked very slowly. And she spoke Friday night, and she said her message was her mother said to her, never stop. Never stop doing what you feel you can accomplish. That was her message. And that's my message. We never stop. We will be there for our community.
All right. And do you have any lasting comments, anything you would like for people to remember about the Susan G. Komen Foundation, just to, in any way, how do they get involved with the Susan G. Komen Foundation?
Oh my goodness, they can just pick up the phone and call me.
Oh, okay.
Our door is always open for everyone. We are very fortunate that we have had the opportunity to work with wonderful men and women from all walks of life and they all bring something special to Komen.
Wow, wow. Well, you have really informed me and inspired me. I want to become a volunteer as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
I'm going to have you sign up today.
I will. I don't have a problem with that. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.